We are finally fitting the curved windows that we've been making on the channel today. So this is the property where the curved windows are going, and yeah, that's where we're going to be fitting them. There's one this end of the garage, and then there's another one exactly the same at the far end. So these are the windows. You're probably bored of seeing these now. There's been quite a few videos on the channel of these. I'll link the playlist to them down below if you're interested. All finished and glazed. These are the inner linings. I think I did a video on them as well. So they're going to be inside the window and cover the gap between the open brickwork and where the architrave sits. Customers actually hand painted all these ready for me, so that was nice not to have to do too much painting. But they're the architraves we made. Done a video on them definitely on the channel, so all ready to go. Bit you've not seen was I just made some straight lengths of architrave to match into that. So hopefully in today's video we'll get all of this cut in and in place, get the windows fitted, and ultimately, fingers crossed, they fit in the opening. Just have a little check of the size before we start. Nervous moment. Ooh la la. That should be about 800. Beautiful. And if that's 1225, yes, we've got a day's work ahead of us. Just while we're here, a little detail to note is this outer section of the window. I've actually created a rebated piece so I can scribe this section really easily if I have to, without having to plane like the whole circumference of the window back if there's a bit of a brick that's sticking out. So I can just scribe that front sort of 18mm. Right, show you what's going on up here. We made a start in altering this. I was filming before Ali got here. Got to drop the inside of this brickwork down because it was built with, I think they're going to put blues on the outside for a start, but actually it suited this window size and opening when I was drawing the windows out to have a slightly taller window. So we decided not to put the blues in, have a sill on the outside of the window, and chop this blockwork out. So just trying to do that as neatly as possible. I've gone down with a little diamond bit. These are pretty cool if you've not seen them before. They're like a mortar rake almost, but really good for sort of cutting down mortar lines with minimal dust. You can sort of set a hoover on them, and it's not like sticking an angle grinder on it and just billowing dust everywhere. So stitch drill along here now, chisel that block out, and then we can start fitting this window. I did notice actually that they've, as they built this, have not put any insulation up here, so try and rectify that somehow. They have put a lintel in. Above the arch there's actually a steel lintel up here. I can see the polystyrene from it, but there's no cavity closers or insulation at the top of here, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do about that. These are pretty cool bits if you've not seen them before. It's like a scutch comb, I think they're called. But they managed to sort of break out or chisel away at the surface without splitting the block. So you can, like there, you can nibble away with like the multiple fingers and sort of grade the surface of a brick off without cracking it or breaking the brick in half. So this video is sponsored by Ansell. They provided me with the gloves that I'm wearing today. I'm going to be featuring these in the next couple of videos that we're doing. I hadn't really thought about it too much, but gloves are actually a really important part of my kit. I find myself wearing them all the while, like all day while I'm working. And even if it's just helping you grip stuff like these windows, the shiny painted surfaces, and you've got your bare skin on there, it's really easy to slip and drop something like that. I do wear gloves a lot. I'm getting on really well with these. They are super grippy. These are 3 days old and there's no signs of degradation through on the fingers, but we'll get into that into the next video, see how they're holding up. But this specific model I'm wearing is the 11840. I think they do something like 78 different pairs of gloves, don't quote me on that. And they're a proper health and safety company, so they're putting a lot of research into these things. So if you've not come across them before, they're doing a 20% offer on Amazon on single pairs. I'll leave a link to that down below and the code in the description. And their selling point on this particular glove, they do thinner and thicker versions, but this one, it's sort of like a skin-like feel. So it's almost like you're not wearing a glove when you've got them on. Great ventilation, so they keep your hands cool, so there's no sweating. But the most important feature for me is you can take your phone out and use it just like normal whilst you're wearing the gloves. There we go. Look at that, it's beautiful. It looks so different with some light coming through there. Should have a cavity closure on there, really. Tell you what, if that was 1mm shorter, that'd go in. What's it like around there? Does it look alright from over there? Looks good from a distance, yeah? I think a lot of these bricks are slightly tilted, so it gets tighter as it goes back, which is annoying, but it's pretty standard. Oh, that's it, yeah. Forgot how to hold my fantastic invention. You want to know what this is? This is my dust extracting power band file. So it's a little Milwaukee M12 band file. So the long, I do two versions of this. There's a long version, but I use it for scribing a lot, and tend to be like when you've got a piece you're scribing on a bench, you want to get as close to it as possible so you're accurate with this as you're scribing it. So when you hold it on the natural handle, it's really difficult. It's like an awkward position. So I've made a little sort of surround for it, so you can wrap your hand around that machine like that, and you're sort of right next to the bit that you're scribing, so you can see what you're doing, hold it perfectly, and then all the dust goes down in the shroud, and the vacuum extracts on the end of it there. So I butchered it a little bit. I had to drill all the casing and everything to get that to fit on. It's a really nice little bit of kit for scribing. Got a little bit to take off here, look. I don't think that'll be enough, but we'll try it. That even integrated belt changing facilities. But it's a little bit trickier now. I should make bricklayers fit windows and plasterers fit skirting boards for a few days every couple of months. Right, how far have we got to the sill? Let's go have a look at the sill. So our little sill look's got our capillary grooves, so we want the window to sit back. So the face of the window is this face here, on about 50mm is the most we can go, so that the water coming off the sill runs round and it will drip off on this point here, because that capillary groove stops it from sort of tracking backwards, because the water would then have to go uphill in order to do so. So it comes round and drips off, and we want that drip to stand about 50mm off the wall. So yeah, 50mm looks about right. Let's see if we can get it back to that. So we're currently 40mm at the bottom, 35 up there. We could take a little bit more off that one. Bricks are a real pain. Problem with this type of scribe is you're scribing it as it works back, and the bricks are different at the point. You can't get the window in there to scribe it to what you need to. But it's pretty close off the former. Just little tweaks, hopefully. I think we could pretend this was the first attempt. Look, it's perfect. So we've decided on 40mm back in the opening for the window, so I've just stuck the laser on there. We've got a little discrete pencil line on each side. These lasers are good because you get a full 360 in that window opening to work to. Got a little cavity closure, haven't you? Some fixed in here. You have to fix it there. Have to splash a bit up there, split in there. I had planned to fix it behind the hinges here, but it's just in the middle of the cavity, so that's not going to work. This isn't my hammer. I just want to put that on record. I like drilling with them little 6mm bits, non-SDS. It doesn't like beat, doesn't vibrate anything and move it. You just set it spinning really fast. And then you can drill nice and gently into the bricks. You don't crack any brickwork. Obviously make less noise as well. I'm using screws instead of concrete fixings because Akoya's acidic, and need to use stainless fixings. Anything outside? That's the brick cracking. Let's see how this fits now. There to there. So I've just got to even this up at the bottom so that you've got a perimeter the either side of the window correct, and then follow it up and around the window. So that's perfect up there. I think if anything it's going to be slightly out by the time we push that up. Might have to have a cork bead in that window. I shouldn't have put a window ball groove in it really. We'll see. That's got to go that way by about 3mm. Just got to plane out 3mm off this and also trim it down. So with 36 at the bottom and 26 at the top. Nearly 40 over here, so it's all over the place inside. It's a shame, isn't it? I'd stick out by 7mm. I'll take 30mm off that. Alright, so the little plan is to trim this down by 30mm somehow. Take most of it out on the table saw. These bits are going to be a bit tricky with this overhanging sill. We'll see how that goes. Let's go and have a go at that. Almost did it, look. Beautiful. Picture frame there. Wonder if anyone will notice that I made like a 250mm lining and cut it down to about 100mm. La la la. I can plane that in now. Look at that, it's raining. Oh my gosh. This is why I got away from windows and joinery, because every time you go to fit one, all your kit gets wet. It'll be the nicest day in the world and then it just turns into that in half an hour. You have a miserable day, so that's why I don't do it anymore. It's yeah, demoralising. When woodworking in the rain is not the dream. It's not the dream. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, Ali. Because I've put a window board groove in there, and I probably shouldn't have done, because I was never going to groove the window board in. So I've got to have this sill high enough to cover that, which is around there somewhere. Which, unfortunately, when this perimeter down the sides is about 10.5mm, it spans up to about 12 at the top, which doesn't look amazing in my opinion. So I think I'm going to alter it. I think I'm going to cut this off here and take 2mm off the ends of these, so that that can sit in the right place, and then this perimeter will go round absolutely perfect. I think the time and effort we put into this window, it's worthwhile spending a little bit now just to do that. What do you reckon? Looking worried. Come on, baby. I reckon I've cut too much off it now. God, it's short. A little bit gappy, but it's fine. That's much better. My foam gun's older than me, it doesn't stop. Have to be careful how quick it comes out. You have to wind a little handle to stop it. Anyone can use perfect brand new tools. Easy. Oh, he says. Red and blue in there. White one here. Push that back. I hope I've screwed the window in. Yep. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Same price as when I was an apprentice. I reckon it got better as well. Yeah, better now. Just if you tap it, it shrinks. You don't need to cut it back then. It also sets a lot harder. Got more foam in like that outer shell. Just got to get to it exactly the right time. That's right. Finished already. I had to face fix these because there's such a gap between the casement and the outside of the frame to get over this here that the ironmongery didn't reach, so the bolt and the keep is both face fixed. gloves are holding up good. I forget I'm wearing them actually. They are a really good fit. I actually went home the other night and left them on. I went into the house. I was still wearing my gloves, so that's a testament to how comfy they are. Don't want to get sealant on my new gloves now. Oh no! Because the architrave doesn't have like a perfect match for this lining, I'm having to sort of manipulate it with pins, hold it, pin it, get that right there, then get my next pin in as I move around the arch, try and get a perfect perimeter. Made slightly more complicated by the fact there's two of these things, not just one. Here's a look at the other side. This one's actually gone in quite nice. I had to do a little bit of a scribing around here, just sand it off so it smooths it around. When I made these architraves to match, I purposely made them slightly wider on this back edge so that I could line up the moulding as best as I possibly could around the curve. Then I can just plane the back edge in very slightly to fit. It'd be really awkward now if this was narrower on the straight piece and I had to try and taper the back edge in around that curve. That would be really awkward. So yeah, I did it that way around on purpose. I can just run my little block plane down this now to about here somewhere and just tape that in. But this second one has gone in absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. Just get a coat of paint on there now, and then we'll do a final fill. Once that paint's gone off, we can see what we're working with. Just got to get enough paint on now, keep building up the layers. Now, like a last bit of fillering is basically the paint, so the paint fills the grain pores, raises it, keep building on that, then we sand it back to a smooth finish. And there we go, that was the last few bits of bobs finishing up. It took me almost an entire day to get these finished to a really high standard, so that's a little bit more than I expected actually. I thought half a day maybe on the two windows would get me to this standard. There's quite a lot of time spent sanding and working that curved architrave in and round so that it flowed round and down into the vertical piece without having a dibber or a wave in it. You want that really nice and smooth, so you'll be really careful how you're sanding that and working that in. If you've not seen them, I'll link videos down below to the whole making of this window. I've done a little mini series on it really. But this internal lining was actually one piece of wood that we cut the back out of and bent round. So we get this beautiful transition from the straight vertical piece into the curve without any sort of noticeable kinks or notches all the way around there. And as the light's actually shining in and hits, so casts a shadow from this piece of timber onto this bit of wood here, as you move around the curve with your eye and let that sort of follow the light, it doesn't show any imperfections, and that's really sort of a professional finish in my opinion, and sort of something you strive for in curved work, that is absolutely a true transition out that straight. We've got temporary handles on at the minute until we do an order for some really nice ones. We'll put like a bigger order together with various other bits in the house. But the window in operation from the inside is just a Hispaniolet PVC style lock and a top opening sash, and it's just super light to open and close that sash. It's a very tactile thing, and it's really enjoyable to now see it finished and in place and looking absolutely amazing.